What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more RA content. I am so sorry for the random 2-week delay that we had. I got super sick and had some other stuff that was not so fun to deal with. So it's basically just not around to really upload a video. And then when I was, I unfortunately did not have these replays, so I was not able to cast it last week when I could have. It would have been very short notice, but I probably could have gotten out on like Saturday or something. But that's alright, because we are finally here. We are in the finals. In the bottom, in the left, it is Cav playing as the UK. He beat me in a pretty good semifinals, I think. I took him all 5 games to finally get out. Barely edged it out 3-2. It was pretty good. I was really happy with the performance that I had. I hope Cav enjoyed the games. I thought they were actually just fantastic. And up here in the top, making his first finals appearance. That is right, it is his first finals appearance despite being in the scene almost as long as I have been. Although he did take quite a long hiatus. It is Happy, also playing as UK. He is in blue. We are on cow level. This map was featured quite prominently in the season. It's pretty standard for a pink off map, and maybe a little bit weird with the starting mine with the gem mine and everything. But you know, you got 2 oil derricks, your 1 double mine expansion, your 2nd double mine expansion. You can go either way depending on where your war factory placement is. And then we are off to the races already. So Cav, it looks like he's a little bit behind on his engineer. That's probably just because he sent out some rifles first. But Happy is pumping out those rifles to this left side, and his engineer is taking all the long way to the top. So this is going to be super protected, but you know, one random rifle over here, if Happy doesn't scout it, could quickly into that. He does have the scout coming here, so he probably will be okay. And Happy will eventually take this, unless these reinforcements can cut it off. I don't know, it's going to be quite close. I think Happy will probably be okay since his rallies is just outside of Cav's vision range right there, and that is something that screwed me over. Looks like Cav is going to lose first blood there, but quickly reestablish it and go up 1-2 right there. Nothing too crazy going on, but this 5 stack is actually going to be a problem for Happy. He has to hold that engineer, and that 5 stack is actually going to trade pretty well, but Cav's going to move in right now, and that's actually going to give him a little bit of edge. That was actually perfect timing. And Happy is going to lose out right here. He's got 3 or 4 more rifles, 5 more rifles right here on this side, but Cav's going to be able to take it away. And I think with just, you know, 5 rifles, even if that is at health, is going to be better than Happy's 4 rifles with 1 very seriously wounded. Unfortunately, Cav, bad rally point on that engineer right now. It's actually in the wrong slug cell. If these get attack move, they're going to see that engineer first, and actually it will go down. But it's like Happy is not going to press that too hard right now. He's probably going to wait for a ranger or light tank. That's probably the smarter move. It looks like he's just going to retreat everything anyways. So Cav's going to have a nice little 1 oil derrick lead for a while. Looks like he already established on his gem mine. Happy probably the same thing. Got his rockets just chilling in his base. And Cav's a lot lighter on the rockets. No rockets being built yet. In fact, he's building more rangers, or rifles rather. Both rangers are out on the field. Happy's going to come back here, probably clean up with these scouts. He's pulling all his army back all the way, which is kind of interesting. Cav's going to get his ranger in the NG and the APC. In the ranger, rather. I'm not rested for casting or anything like that. And then probably come down here. Since he has 3 more rifles over here, he's going to be able to secure that pretty easily. Happy did drive by, you know, took a nice chunk out of the ranger. He's not going to be able to do much there. He's going to put that engineer in the ranger too. Probably go back here later. Or maybe he's going to try down here. But either way, Cav should be totally fine with the vision advantage provided by the ranger. And those 3 rifles right there, he should be good. He might lose his engineer if, you know, Happy really wants to dive. But without that ranger being repaired, he'd probably lose it outright for an engineer. That's, you know, it's a $100 disinvestment that you're going to be down. And then, you know, losing the economic advantage of just having an extra oil derrick there. You know, maybe not worth it. I think rangers are pretty valuable, and especially in this day and age, scouting with them is a huge deal. You got to know when those rushes are coming. The state of this game is actually, it's getting stale in the sense that, like, it's not as long-winded games. Games are getting a lot shorter, I feel like. The average game length probably went down to 10 minutes or less this season. Although I would probably quickly be determined wrong by a Trip T if he ever uploads the statistics, which he hasn't for this season. That might be because me and Fazar never played our bronze matches, unfortunately. It didn't work out, and then I got sick and everything, so it's just kind of stuck on 0-0. Happy gonna come in, kill these 3 rifles. Oh, you know, that's, I guess he can't really go in, there's too much rifle support, but, you know, picking off those rockets right there for Cav would have been a nice little grab. Those first 4 rockets are so huge if you lose them. Neither player has a heavy vehicle out right yet, but both MCVs are moving out counterclockwise to each other, or parallel to each other, just in opposite directions. You know, this is kind of a weird expansion to take on your first one. I think this is definitely more like your natural, especially with the road there. And yeah, the war factory position definitely would lead a little bit more to that. I think it's actually kind of close to the middle, but I mean, securing this one is nice because you can kind of base push over here. This little debris section right here really kind of splits your forces, which is not so fun to defend, but, you know, coming across this is kind of risky because it just opens up your middle a little bit. Cavs are already pressuring onto Happy's at natural. He's not going to find that Happy's there, so he's going to know that Happy expanded that way, or Happy didn't expand at all, which is always a possibility. Cav is up just 2 oil directs right now. Looks like he's about to capture this one back from Happy. Happy might be on top of it or not. Both the engineers still alive. Well, Happy has not repaired his ranger yet. Oh, that ranger actually going to reveal it. I don't know if Happy's going to be able to get over there in time. He does have the small force. There's only 3 rockets there. That ranger is actually going to get there in time and kill that engineer, so that's going to be a nice little grab for Happy. But he has to be careful to not lose that ranger just to double ranger fire right there. Cav already quickly expanding into Happy's more natural side, and he's going to expand on the backside, which is actually probably going to work out in his favor if he can kind of establish here. Happy might just try to sit up here, and then there's going to be a bunch of defenses for Cav already there, which would be really good. This flank is completely unspotted. There's one pillbox actually in great position right there, covering the whole entryway. But Cav is going to see at least a chunk of that with his ranger. He's going to go back. He actually probably saw a little bit more. Yep. Oh, does lose ranger for it, but, you know, that does tell him there is an attack coming, which is great. And I do like that he only moved out his expansion MCV rather than moving out the main MCV. That's going to leave this base much more protected. Your little flank going back here. It's just 1 medium tank from Cav. Happy should be on top of that. But yeah, so far it looks like neither player really wants to get into a hard engagement. That is a lot of rockets for Cav. He's probably doing 2 to 1. Let's check on that real quick. Combat's about even. Army 63-19, so that's definitely close to 3 to 1. And yeah, 61-25, that's definitely close to 2 to 1. So Happy's little attack here is going to get snuffed out. He's actually going to retreat, and I think that's a bold move. I think, you know, if your army's that deep, it's kind of committed. Happy's going to try to get out here, and he actually might save a little bit of it, but, you know, he's basically just traded off 0 things, and Cav's just getting that much of an economic advantage and army advantage. You can see it's 21 over 19,000. So, yeah, Happy's got a lot of tanks here. That medium tank's still up here poking the way, but Happy has a rocket soldier, so it should be fine. Double rough here, and Happy is also established on Cav's natural expansion, so completely mirror this time. A little bit more of that army getting chipped off. There's now a 4K difference. 4K is, you know, I guess it's about, yeah, it's still about 4K. But this army engagement right here is actually looking pretty good for Happy. I think he's got a lot of armor. But Cav is got really good position. Happy's going in for the crushes, so is Cav. I don't think going in for the crushes was a smart idea. Great crushes there by Happy, but all of his armor is about to go down, and Cav still has 2 tanks, so that's a lot of army to deal with, though. I don't know if Cav can deal with it. He's gonna have to pull back. He's gonna lose all that, but he still does have this huge chunk over here, and Happy, you know, once again lost all of his units just pulling away. That medium tank went down too. At the same time, you know, Cav's gonna struggle on this side. That's a lot of army to push through. 2 medium tanks left. Losing another medium tank's not great. Here comes the second one. He's gonna clean up this transfer over from Happy, which is great. That's actually gonna help him out. Cav was actually behind an army value. Still behind an army value, but it's a lot closer. Looks like he had a bad rally there with his harvesters. Pull him off early before he needs to, and he's not gonna get that extra load off. He's not hurting for cash, so that's fine. But yeah, at the same time, they're basically doing the same thing to each other. Although I think Cav is in a little bit better position. He's gonna probably clean up this army from Happy, which is not great. Gonna lose a ref here, but save the harvesters, and they're instantly on another ref. Whereas Happy's harvesters are kind of stuck, and he's gonna lose at least 1. And yeah, Happy's gonna get this army cleaned up, just because there's 2 medium tanks left from Cav, no medium tanks left for Happy. And it's going down. He's trying to move his MCV back into place to get that pillbox there, and you know that's a decent pillbox there, but it instantly does go down. At the same time, Cav is going to lose his MC over here. Looks like that is not great for him. Does have second war factory and barracks over there, so his army will eventually get whittled down. But Cav's probably going to lose expansion, and losing that MC was probably pretty big. Same time, though, Happy did lose an expansion and harvesters, which is also pretty important. Oh, the medium tank coming out. It could get some great crushes, but unfortunately instantly goes down. Harvester is going to get scared away. Army value is looking almost dead even. Cav once again a little bit ahead. Leaving this ref alive, that's a bold choice. Probably should, I mean, there's 2 of them there, so you probably have to sacrifice your whole army to kill it. Instead, he's going to try to go on a deep flank. And like I said, once you go on these deep flanks, like, you should kind of expect those units to be spent. They're not going to survive too long. Cav finally coming over and cleaning out the rest of his army. Looks like he sold off his war factory. Maybe I lost it too, but this is a big chunk of Happy's army that he's losing right now. And Cav, once again, getting some good crushes there right at the end. All that goes down. Cav is up double the army value on Happy pretty much, 9k to 16k. That's kind of looking pretty bleak for him. Harvester wandered off here. That sucks. And it looks like Cav is a little bit better at focusing on it. So that could make all the difference on the economic front. But Cav is floating 2k, Happy's floating 9k, so it's not going to matter. Just lose the ref up there, so that's not super great. So this attack was worth it. I think he can just, you know, try to trade it off now. Although if Happy wants to let it live and get out of there, then that's his choice. This attack not going to be so good. Conga landing in. Happy's been on tier 2, but he doesn't really have... I mean, he has the cash to float now, but, you know, his economics is actually quite bleak. One Blackhawk down. This army's finally getting cleaned up. This army over here, one medium tank left, about to go down. Cav's going to retreat. There is quite a long line of pillboxes. First Blackhawk goes down. I don't think it really got its value. Yeah, now Cav is free to attack wherever he wants. You know, he knows Happy's established here. Happy's not come back here. There's pillboxes everywhere, which is kind of a Happy motif. But yeah, his economic situation is looking pretty bleak. I feel like if we looked at the earnings graph, yeah, it's just going down. Cav retained those harvesters, so you can see it shoots right back up. So harvesters are super important. And yeah, Cav's gonna push in here. He's only got 2 tanks, and Happy has quite a lot of armor. There's really not a whole lot of rockets there for Happy. Looks like 4 or 5. Oh, that little attachment, mostly all rockets. I think that is all rockets, actually. That sucks. Cav could definitely use those rockets up to the front, and they're not going to come in and get any armor. They're going to run into more infantry and instantly die. That sucks. Ooh, artillery comes out, gets a good shot, and Cav's, I mean, he's pushing through. He killed all the armor, which is great. But he's starting to run out of steam. As soon as this army comes over, it's going to get cleaned up. Let's see if Cav has, yep, he does. He does have a secondary army coming up on the backside. The classic 1-2 punch, that's to be expected. So, I mean, this didn't really trade out too well for Cav. At the same time, it pulled all of Happy's army over here, and now there's nothing over here. So, I would think that attack was actually effective. Sometimes you just got to make a sacrifice and lose a bunch of soldiers just to win the day. It's pretty much what happened on D-Day, right? Americans landed on Utah and Omaha and got slaughtered, but, you know, that cleared the way for the rest of the forces when they eventually established the beachhead. That's how World War II goes. You got to lose some to win some. Happy's going to lose his economic footing here, but he does have these 2 officers refineries rather up here, which is great. Rotating his whole army again, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cav is going to have a secondary army over here, but nope, it looks like he is more deathballing right now. Needs to get that harvester back over here. Looks like he actually transferred 2 over there. He's going to figure it out in a second. Still no tier 2 from Cav. He tried to go into a double war factory tech instead, so these Blackhawks are actually been on the field for a while now, which is nice. Pillbox is probably going to kill that medium tank, but 3 rockets there are going to say, nope, that's my job. And yeah, Cav has definitely the army advantage. I'm sure if I looked at the actual army value, it's 8 tanks to 2, that 9 tanks to 2. That's actually pretty big, even with 2 Blackhawks. Just the amount of armor that you can kill with 9 tanks is so good. Especially with Cav crushers, you got to be scared of that. So I don't know, Happy's quite in a bad position here. I mean, it's not over yet. He's still got, you know, most of his bases are intact. He just needs to get another ref here and transfer some of those harvesters back. And he does have the tech advantage, so if he gets up to tier 3, which, you know, there it is, it's 13 seconds away, that could be really good. Cav finally up to tier 2, so, you know, that tier 2 advantage is not going out. If Happy could have had that tier 3 a little bit earlier, got some Tanya out before these Blackhawks could have came out, that could have made a huge difference. Tanya with a bunch of, like, infantry to support her and Blackhawks for vision and everything is really tough to deal with when you don't have air assets to kill her quickly. Deep flank by here by Happy again, probably not going to get spotted with the old Eric. And it looks like Cav is setting up for a tank flank over here, but Happy really smartly, he's got Blackhawks over the field, so he's got excellent vision right now. Let's see, what stat is it? Basic? No. It's definitely not economy. What one would have vision? Combat? Ah, it is combat. Okay, 32-21%. That's actually, I mean, I guess 10% of vision is probably a big deal. These 2 tanks gonna go down, gonna find a huge ball of Happy's army over there, which is actually quite important. Cav might have the game sense to know that, you know, Happy just hasn't been able to really establish his army, or maybe he thinks that's all of Happy's army, which is important. He does have his own Blackhawks scouting, which is nice. And this tank flank is actually going to be really good. It's going to hit at least 2 harvesters. Raiders over here probably would want to send it back here to get 4 more harvesters total. 4 harvesters is always a great grab. But Cav scouting with his Blackhawk to find out where Happy is. Happy's just kind of blocking off with his Blackhawks to figure out where Cav is going to strike. It does have this little area that is unprotected, but not a huge deal. AA gun chipping a huge amount out of the Blackhawk. That's unfortunate. And Cav is actually going to it. Probably should target fire, but down goes the Blackhawk anyways. Tanya is out for Happy right here, and it looks like it's going to come down to a big center push, but again, Cav just has such an armor advantage. It's 13-7 now, which isn't too big. He does have 1 artillery and a Tanya, so I don't know. It's going to be rough. I don't know if this is the right angle for Happy to attack. I think he needs to base push a little bit more. But that Black Hawk does barely get away. That's surprising. I feel like that was a lot of rockets on it. And there is Cav's Tanya, so this attack taking a little too long, but it is going to happen during this big battle, which is nice. And here we go. It's going to be Tanya versus Tanya, I think. Blackhawks are not in position. Although, one more. Nope, goes down. Oh, and Cav's Tanya actually kills Happy's Tanya. This is going to be absolutely terrible for him. Happy just completely run over in this attack right there. He needed that MCV up a little bit further. Some pillboxes would have made it amazing to help him. And yeah, instant losing your Tanya to Tanya is unfortunate there. And I think that is GG for Happy. He is getting mopped up, 11k to 25k. He's going to lose tier 3 at least. Tanya is still rolling through. Another Tanya comes out, but where is she? She's on the backside. That is unfortunate. That's not where she needs to be. She needs to be right here. Although these infantry are going to conga line into 2 pillboxes, and they are getting slaughtered. Oh my god. That is so much value lost just to 2 pillboxes right there. But unfortunately for Happy, I don't think it is enough. There's another Tanya in the back. Could get crushed by medium tank. This little flank down here did eventually kill Harvesters and the refs on the bottom, like I said, so it's good. So, you know, if Happy can somehow... Oh my god, where do these tanks come from? That is so many medium tanks, and he's got this huge army over here too, plus 2 Blackhawks, and there goes Tanya again. No more Tanya. I was gonna say Happy had a way back with all this economic damage he's doing down here, but yeah, Cav's just gonna quickly return that with 10 medium tanks just rolling through your Harvesters. They're not gonna even last more than 3 seconds. There you go, 2 Harvesters instantly down. Happy's cleaned out here. That Tanya is still rolling. She is vet 3, probably actually gonna go down, but Happy calls it GG. That is definitely the most effective Tanya I've seen in a long time, especially in the Masters Division. Usually people are pretty good about picking them off. Cav looking pretty good in game 1, taking it 1-0 so far. Happy did not look too bad though. I mean, he held on for a while. He made some mistakes. That's going to happen. You know, there's always a meme of Cav in the finals is a beast. But we'll be back for game 2.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, we are back here in game 2. This time it is Cav in Germany and Happy in UK. I imagine we're going to see a lot of allies mirrors. Soviets a little bit nerfed or just underpowered on this previous like balance iteration. We've been working on that a little bit with Rattle, but Rattle was a kind of a shit show this year. People just didn't really play, and then, you know, unfortunately, like I said, I got sick for 2 weeks. Wasn't really around to help admin stuff. I like men was also having some tough times, going through some stuff, so he wasn't really around. So unfortunately, people couldn't self-moderate, and basically nobody played games. But we did get some sort of games towards the end. There is like a neutered playoffs going on, so the games I did play were pretty fun, and the balance on them felt pretty good. There was a lot of Navy gameplay because Orb and I decided to be a little bit cheesy, but my Navy balance is better than regular balance, so I can say that. I don't know if it's perfect. There's been a lot of complaints about subs, but I think the funny thing is the subs actually are doing better than they would do before. They're killing a lot more on average and getting a lot more value out of them, but it's so frustrating to watch your torpedoes shoot in a straight line and completely miss. But yeah, I think there's some stuff that I gotta clean up there. Allies have a little bit too much advantage in just being able to choose when to take a naval engagement or when to just retreat, where subs are a little bit more hard-coded, and that's just because they're not turreted. So maybe that could be something I could do, is to make subs shoot a turreted torpedo, or just be able to shoot while moving. I think that might actually make things a lot better for them, but that's balanced stuff, and that's boring. We're here for some RAGL playoffs. We are on Timian, of course. We've been kind of talking about naval stuff on there's some water over here and a fake sub pin, a flooded sub pin rather, in the main crate. But this is Timian Classic, I think season 10 map. Huge starting eco over here, really spread out, so it takes a long time to mine. Very small secondary mine over here, your double mine natural, and that's your only double mine that natural you get. You get these 2 single mines. These ones in the corner are actually rarely taken for some reason. A lot of the games just focus like right in this area right here. Which makes sense, you know, just for the nature of the map. You can deploy a ref right here and instantly move out, or you can stop right here and then try to take this from your opponent and then instantly move out after that. So it's very easy to cut off this map. For some reason, it's just very hard to go to these forward mines in the back. Both players capturing their Ortherix. Happy a little bit slower on his. I think he went forward and Cav went backwards, which is probably a little bit more better and you know, quickly evident by the earlier captured by Cav. I think there was a few rifle skirmishes. Yeah, it looks like Happy killed one of Cav's rifles, which probably came on through the top here, trying to hunt that engineer. And Cav is gonna go aggressive, try to capture this oil derrick back. Happy does have one rifle that probably will be enough, and you know it is such a short distance there, should be good. Happy going Ranger first. You know, if you're gonna go Ranger first, I think that's totally valid. Definitely should probably use it aggressively. Looks like he's actually gonna use it just to transfer around his engineer. I mean, it's not a bad idea to put his engineer in there, but if you're gonna go Ranger first, you should probably, you know, be thinking about trying to kill off an oil derrick or try to find an army out as it's moving across and, you know, kind of counter it. Otherwise, going Harvester first like Cav is, so he's already up to 4 Harvesters, where Happy is only on, he's just now on 4. So Cav's gonna have a slight economic advantage, and you know, that Ranger not doing anything has pretty much been the same. So economy is always important in OpenRA, especially with, you know, the not multi-queue that we have in RA. You really got to get the economic footing up, because it can quickly delete that float. Ooh, barely gonna get that Ranger out. Actually, he might lose it if it goes into that rifle range. Yeah, he's gonna lose that. Oh yeah, but he does take a significant chunk out of that rifle engineer, so these 2 rifles actually might get into it, get that engineer, and capture that oil derrick if Happy's not paying attention. But yeah, economy in OpenRA, like with multi-queue, yeah, you can quickly kill a float, but you're also limited on your ability to actually produce to kill a float, which, if that makes sense. So, you know, like in TD, you have multi-queue, but you only really have 1 MCV. So your only chance to really kill a float is to build a whole bunch of barracks, which is going to take a long time to do. And sure, if you get up to like 4 barracks or like 4 airships or whatever, you're going to kill a float really quickly. Where in OpenRA, you're always going to be on max production for the most part with your racks. Sometimes you'll get up to max production on your war factory, and it's just like you'll usually have your 1 or 2 MCVs. But I feel like a float in our RA goes a lot quicker than it does in TD, and that's just because the ability to produce units is a little bit easier than TD. But enough about TD, we're playing RA. That's 2 times I've been sidetracked by non-Raggle playoff stuff. Happy right here, quickly pushing in the middle. This is actually really weird, because he's going straight to the middle first, and he's moving out his main NC, so I guess, you know, it's gonna make him establish across a little bit better. But I think Cav didn't manage to see that Happy was here, so he's kind of rallying right here. He's moving out to counter that. Gonna lose his oil derrick. That's kind of be expected on Timian. These oil derricks pretty much at half health. Cav's gonna go in with the engineer. I think this is a great time to do it. He's gonna kill that rifle, so I do like that he has the 2 rifle scouts there. Not even gonna lose one. Maybe. Nope. Goes down. See if Happy has any response here. He is totally aware, so that is not gonna work. That Ranger should get there in time. It's actually gonna be pretty close. Oh, he might get away with it, but I mean, he'll be able to clean up those 2 rifle scouts. So it's oh, just gets it in time. It's always in the nick of time with engineers, I swear. So saves the engineer, that's perfect good. You know, kills an engineer, 2 rifles, so 600 for free. Not a bad idea. Happy needs to be careful. He's sitting in a bunch of barrels that can quickly turn against him. Cav is splitting off 3 of his medium tanks. That is 75% of his tanks that he has. That is a huge gamble. But this is kind of something you see with the team games, especially on like the Masters map. Just splitting off your early army against a passive opponent like this can be super good, because you can't really stop this. Like, your Harvesters, you're probably not going to see them until your tanks are already shooting at them, so they're not going to get away because they have the same speed, so they're going to go down. And like, you can't quickly kill 3 medium tanks even if you just pump out rocket soldiers. You're not going to have a turret ready, so I expect this to actually be pretty effective. He's at least going to pull off, you know, all those Harvesters, and Happy's going to not going to be able to attack into Cav, and Cav's going to use his pillboxes to kind of even up his army armor value. There we go. See, the first medium tank, or Harvester rather, already going down. Happy's going to try to pull him away, but the second one's obviously going to go down too. And yeah, that's basically 2 Harvesters for free that, you know, Happy has no response to. And now these medium tanks can just pull right away and go around their backside if he really wants to. There's rocket soldiers can't come up with him. You don't have any faster anti-armor than rocket soldiers at this stage of the game. You would have like longbows late game if you really want, or I think chrono tanks might be faster, but you know, again, that's super late game. Happy is smart going back with the mechanic here, so he's going to recover one of those Harvesters, which is nice. Can't do that as Soviet, so it's going to suck here, but Cav going in here, that was a bold move. 1 barrel goes down, almost kills a medium tank. Yeah, this is Deathball versus Deathball right now. Although these 3 medium tanks are being a nuisance. Not going to get the second Harvester, but he did have a second mechanic. And it looks like both players are already up to tier 2. And yeah, he tried his best to capture these medium tanks, but to get the crushes on the way out because it's Cav. And yeah, that's a lot of economic damage done for pretty much free. Kill the power plant to boot, just to add insult to injury. And Cav's army is, you know, 2k-ish ahead. I'm happy. Still hasn't lost the medium tank. Almost killed another harvester. And yeah, Happy has to respond to this, but I don't know. Cav's just kind of deathball in the middle against Happy's deathball. He has more, and actually, he looks like he has the same amount of tanks. Yeah, somehow Cav has the same amount of tanks despite 3 being away. Alright, so I guess he's down a little bit, but you know, 7 versus 9 is not insignificant. Or rather, 7 versus 9 is kind of insignificant in armor advantages. With that amount of rockets, quickly could disappear. Once again, it looks like Cav is really heavy. That's almost 4-1, but yeah, it seems like he has so many rockets there. There we go, 3 more tanks going back in. There's only 1 rocket there. Probably gonna lose 1 medium tank this time, but he actually might get lucky and get the crush there, but he pulls back. Same time, Happy's little attack over here just gets shaved off, so pretty sure he traded out enough infantry's worth to equal a medium tank. Once again, 3 more medium tanks coming over here. That's gonna be pretty bad to deal with. And yeah, Cav is gonna hunt this down, which is always nice to grab. That is gonna pull his entire army out of position. See if Happy wants to respawn. Second little army over there. Medium tank battles right here, 3 against 2. Yeah, it's going to be the 3 that wins. Probably some of those rifles actually soaking. So it's a very old school CNC gameplay right there. Medium tanks and rifles. Happy's other medium tank right here. Not going to go down. Last rocket kills that medium tank. And yeah, Cap has his Black Hawk out. Happy has a Black Hawk out. The box just killing some random infantry right there. Happy is pretty heavily split. Cav is more centered around here. I mean, it's pretty similar. Both players just kind of mirroring each other. Cav does have tier 3 out. Happy is 18 seconds behind, so he's not building a Tanya yet. That could be a difference maker, but there is plenty of Blackhawks out, I think. Blackhawk is actually going to see that MCV move out, which might prompt Cav to go in there since he does not see any of Happy's army coming. But instead, Cav has a huge flank over here. His medium tank was, or his MCV rather, was supported by this army move out. Gonna lose a Blackhawk there to nothing. That's unfortunate. And yeah, both players perfectly mirroring each other. I don't know about such a deep flank. Happy does have artillery, and artillery are a huge difference maker. His tier 3 is out, and he's first to build Tanya. Unless I missed Tanya, which is totally possible, but I don't see here on the army tab. There is Tanya. That is probably going to prompt Cav to build his own Tanya. Nope, not yet. Maybe after this rocket soldier. Yep, there it is. So probably just forgot about it briefly. But these random pillboxes just killing off rifles as they poorly path. These infantry right here probably going to get killed by that pillbox. Looks like Cav is moving out to the left again, so he's fairly heavily split over the corner. Looks like Happy actually forgot about this army. He moved his army back over here. That could be dangerous. I understand why players get into this passive feeling. You know, that Tiny actually might instantly go down, but Happy chooses not to. I understand why people get into this hesitant to attack mantra. You want to take that defender's advantage, you know, let them trade worse into you. At the same time, if you know that a chunk of your opponent's army is over here and you have artillery, you should absolutely be using your Blackhawks position to shell that and whittle them down and force them into retreating and taking more losses. Because otherwise, you know, it's just going to go bad and you're going to make a wrong decision like Happy is right here, because Hav is going in perfect timing as Happy rotates away. So this expansion is going to go down. He's going to lose that MCV. He's going to try to get it away, but he's got a Blackhawk there, so Tanya is up here. Where is Tanya? I don't know where the Tanyas are anymore, but Cav's gonna lose his MCV, but then that army's actually gonna collapse on him, so I think this is the battle that's actually gonna probably decide this game. Happy is in pretty good position, but his tanks are all on the bottom, which is a problem, and Cav has so many medium tanks, and here comes the crushes. As soon as these medium tanks get in, nuke silo is not what Happy needs right there. That is probably a panic place, and yeah, his army is gonna get completely cleaned up. 1 medium tank left for Happy, but it's going to go down before anything happens. Blackhawks can come in, don't even need them. And that's probably a game right here. 4 artillery is going to make a difference right here, especially if Cav is a little bit slow to deal with this, but oh god, those artillery. Oh, and the Blackhawks going down to the A gun. and Tanya over there, but at the same time, this army over here completely is gonna go unnoticed. So yeah, Happy just lost too much for pretty much nothing there. It was all of his armor, and yeah, not dealing with this army over here. It came back to bite him. I'm not sure what happened. Tanya was still cheering, or maybe just rebuilt it. I don't know. But Happy looking a little bit worse off this game. Cav taking this game pretty easily, I'd say. 30,000 to 5,000 is kind of tough to deal with. Tanya's finally coming in. Pillbox does get a peace offer, and the blockout killer. GPS goes up just to let Happy know that he is in a bad position, and he doesn't even have it because his radar's down. That is a common mistake. Happy goes in and calls it GG. That was definitely a cleaner win from Cav, I think. Happy disconnects. That's probably not intentional. I don't think he'd rage quit. Happy's kind of sort of a rager, but not necessarily a rage quitter. Probably just accidental. Just fast forward right now until the end of the game. Yeah, he can just leave. It's fine. And so that's 2-0 for Cav, and we'll probably call this part 1 in 30 minutes. And I'll see you back all for next week for part 2.